Well, good evening, Vitamin M family. I want to personally welcome you to the Vitamin M pre-show. This is the time where you get ready, hey, ready to get your Vitamin M, your weekly recommended dose of motivation. Listen, on tonight, we are going to take a deep dive into the courage to change. The courage to change. Do you exhibit the courage to make the changes in your life that you need to make? Do you exhibit the qualities that it takes to change? Because it does take courage to change, because we all have something that we need to change. So let's get ready. Get out your Vitamin M note-taking device, number 1. Number 2, your writing utensil. And number 3, an open heart, mind, and soul so that you are ready to receive. Let's go get your vitamins. This is your Vitamin M. This is your motivation for the week. Get your vitamins. Do you have the courage to change? Do you have the courage to change? I want to ask you a question on tonight. Do you exhibit the qualities that it takes to make the necessary changes in your life that you need to make? I see you getting your vitamins. Hey, I see you getting your vitamins. Hey, I see you getting your vitamins. Hey, get your vitamins. Get your vitamins. Get your vitamins. Yes, you have the courage on tonight. Yes, you have the courage on tonight because you tuned in to go get your vitamins. Hey, go get your vitamins. You want to change in your life. And to make that change, you have to exhibit the courage to do so. You have to step out there and do something about it. Because what are our 3 goals every single solitary Sunday night? What is it to do? We have to break down walls, produce positive thinking, and exhibit resilience amid any situation. When you need the courage to change, you have to break down the walls in your life. You have to speak over yourself, those positive affirmations, and you have to exhibit resilience amid any situation. No matter what comes up, you have to have the courage to change, the courage to change, the courage to change. Change is a necessary part of life, but do you have the courage to change? It is necessary. It is necessary. It is necessary. But are you willing to change your circumstances, to change your world, to change the world that is around you? Do you have the courage to change? Why are we so afraid of change? What are we afraid of? What are you afraid will happen if you step out and take the courage to change? Do you have the courage to make a change in your own life? Last week, we talked about speak over yourself, to speak over yourself, to speak those positive affirmations, to speak the things that are not as though they were. And when we do that, you have to step out there and have the courage to change the things that are around you. You have to be able to accept the things that you can't change, but know that you still are a change agent, to know that I still can make a change. I don't have to accept things the way that they are presented to me. I have the courage to change. Now, from my perspective, we usually see change happening from a negative place. Because for so much of our lives, we have watched change happen to people, where people have allowed change to happen. And it looked like from the outside that there really wasn't anything that they could do about it. But there was something to do, because they have to stand up and exhibit the courage to change. You watch your parents, your family, and your friends experience negative change in their lives. It was a bad situation or something they did not want to happen. See, we resist change because of fear. And listen, we've already talked about fear before, because you have to look fear in the face. You gotta face it, and you gotta keep it pushing. You have to keep it rolling. Fear plays a huge role in every aspect of our lives, but we must put fear in its place and have the courage to change. You have to muster up the strength, even when it is scary, even when you don't want to. You still have to speak over yourself and say that it is necessary. You cannot get through life if you don't change. Do you have the courage to change? Do you have the courage to change? I'm asking you on tonight, do you have the courage to change? Now, I understand that sometimes change can be unpleasant and unwanted, but even in those times, we must face everything and rise, however the negative circumstances or the situation. It is not always a negative situation. We can change the things that are around us. And if I cannot change the things that are around me, guess what I can do? I can mind my mindset. I can change the way I see the things so that the things I see change. It's my perspective. It's my perspective. It's my viewpoint of the situation. I can say that it was a failure, or I can say that it was an opportunity for me to grow. The courage to change my perspective, the courage to have a different attitude, the courage to show up in a different way. Listen, change can appear in many different forms. Change can be good. Say it with me. Change is good. Change is good. Change is good. I know that it's scary. I know that it is not easy, because I'm telling you, I'm not one to want things to all the time change, because I have a tendency to go to a restaurant and order the same thing at the same restaurant all the time, because I have a tendency to resist change. But when I am growing on this journey, I'm learning that change is a part of the journey, and I'm embracing the change. I'm having the courage to change. I'm having the courage to step out and try something new and do something different. I can order something else. I don't know what else on the menu I may like if I don't have the courage to try something different. You gotta have the courage to try something different. Listen, I'm gonna take an easy example. We all want to lose weight. We all want to change the physical, but do you have the courage to stop eating the cupcakes? Do you have the courage to push the plate back? Do you have the courage to get up and walk out your front door and lace up your shoes and go walking? Do you have the courage to get up and exercise? Do you have what it takes to do something to get to where you want to go? Change is necessary. Change is necessary. If you want to lose the weight, you got to change the way that you interact. You've got to stop sitting on the sideline, and you've got to start getting active. If you want a change, change is an evolution. It's a progression of getting better. When I am getting better, I'm changing. When I'm getting better, I'm changing. I'm maturing. I'm getting a different perspective. I'm getting a new attitude. Change is a good thing. Change is an evaluation of myself, of my life. How am I doing when I measure it against the change in my life? Or am I the same old, unchanged, unwavering? all the time. It's one thing to stand still, but it's another thing just to dig your heels in and never change, never want to progress, never want to do anything new, never want to do something to make yourself better. You got to go back to school. You need to go get the other degree. You need to go get the other certification, the courage to change. Do you have the courage to change? The courage to change, the courage to change, the courage to change. Do you have the courage to change? The courage to change means the ability to walk into something new, albeit afraid, but be willing to go with the understanding that change is good. The key to change is courage, which means the ability to do something that frightens you. Do it afraid. Courage is bravery. Courage is bravery. The courage to change means that I'm willing to face negative situations involving potential pain or danger in the name of change. Because I know that it is necessary. I know that it is needed. So I'm going to have the courage to step out there and try something else. Because I want something new, I'm pushing back on the status quo. I'm pushing back on what my mama and them did. Just because my mama and them did it doesn't make it right. The courage to change. It means sometimes going along with my own thought process and an opinion that is unpopular. I may not have the popular opinion. People may not like me right now because you want to know what? Because everybody is not where you are. See, the problem is that when you step out on change, people think that you are crazy. People are like, what's wrong with them? What makes you think you can change? What makes you think you have the ability to do that? You can't, because they are afraid. They are walking in fear. They don't understand the level that you are on. They don't understand where you're trying to go. They don't have the courage to change the situations around them. So you have to go in an opposite direction of them. You have to leave the crowd. See, the courage to change means that I look back and my friends are still back there. And I look back and there's fewer of us and the road begins to narrow. The road begins to narrow. See, narrow is the road to change, to doing something different, to doing something new, to doing something unfamiliar to those that are around you, because we want to stay in this pot together. No, I'm going to go and get uncomfortable because I have the courage to change. And maybe it may spark you to come along with me. Because see, when I have the courage to change, it's uncomfortable. See, when you don't want to change, you stay in comfortable situations. You stay where it's pleasant. You stay where it's familiar. You stay where you're able to navigate. Because I know my way around here. I know my way around this neighborhood. I know my way around this area. But when I go somewhere else, it causes me to have to be more attentive because I don't necessarily know where I am. Because it's a change. It's something new. I can navigate this airport, but I don't know how to go navigate one in another state because I've never been there before. I have to exhibit and have the courage to make a change. We want to do something great, but are you willing to do what greatness requires? And I believe that came from Pound of Stone. I could be wrong about the book. But if you want to do something great, you have to do what greatness requires. We must be willing to do the work if we want the results. If you want the results that you want, then you have to do something else. Change means to make someone or something different, alter, or modify, to substitute one thing for another. Change. If you want to access greater in your life, you must be willing to change. You can't change. You cannot access greater if you are unwilling to change. If you if you don't exhibit a growth mindset, then you will be stuck where you are and you cannot change. No one has ever accomplished anything without change. If you have accomplished something, great, and you stayed on the same thing and you've done the same thing the last 25,000 years, you've done that same thing over and over and over and over again, and change happened, please let me know. But if you want change, you must exhibit the courage to do something different, the courage to change after these messages. Get your Bible. The courage to change. The courage to change. The courage to change. Do you exhibit the courage to change? The courage to change is a mindset. You have to show up and declare that I want something new. And you have to just do it. As Nike said, you have to just do it. Change comes with growth. If you want to grow, there is a level of change that needs to happen. See, if you think about it like a butterfly does not come out as a beautiful butterfly. You just don't see a butterfly, and that's the way that it starts out. It goes through a cycle. There's the egg, and then the caterpillar, and then the pupa, and then the butterfly. It goes through a cycle, and as it goes through the cycle, each stage it becomes something different. It becomes something new until it gets to its final stage. It gets to its final stage of development, which is the butterfly. The butterfly doesn't circumvent the stages. The butterfly doesn't go from an egg to a butterfly or from a caterpillar to a butterfly. Oh, I'm going to skip that stage because I don't like it. You have to do the same thing. You have to recognize that when you are on this journey, you have to understand that change is a part of the process. Change is a part of the process. The butterfly understands that I'm not going to be an egg always. I'm not going to always be an egg, because an egg is going to turn into a caterpillar. And the egg sends the caterpillar the same message. And it tells the caterpillar, you're not going to be a caterpillar always. You just have to survive this level because you're going to become a pupa. And then the caterpillar gives the same message to the pupa. They're passing the message along. You're not going to be at that stage always, forever and ever. You are going to eventually become a beautiful butterfly. You have to just stay in the process. You have to stay in the cocoon. You have to stay there and understand the value of the stage. I need you to understand, I'm passing along the message along your journey. Along your journey. You're not going to be here always. You're not going to be on this level always. If you understand and you gather the understanding that I'm not going to always be here. I'm letting you know find value in the egg stage. Find value in being a baby. A baby doesn't stay a baby always. A baby grows up. You have to grow up. You have to become an adult. You have to go through the stages and value each stage. What did I learn at this stage that I need to whisper to my next self? What would you tell a younger version of yourself? somebody asked me that, what would I tell myself as a young teacher? I would tell myself, this too shall pass. You know more than what you put on. You have value, girl. Keep going. Don't give up. You are impacting lives. Value the stage where you are and take note. What can I take from this stage when I get ready to go to the next stage? Because what happens is we want to skip stages. We want to change the stage. We want to jump over a stage. And every time you jump over one of the stages, you miss the lesson at that stage. You need that lesson to catapult you to the next stage. And then you need to gather those lessons to take you to the next stage because there's value there. There are things in that stage that I need to learn. There's perseverance, there's grit, there's determination. Sometimes there is just it's okay to cry in the midnight hour. I need to have that cry so that I birth my next, so that I get to where I want to go. See, this is about your next level. This is about getting to that next level, to that next level, to that next level, so that I grow and that I learn. But I have to value each stage. I have to value each stage because when I skip a stage, all I end up doing is going all the way back, all the way back. And then I've got to do my first works over again and do it over again. I just, at each stage, when I'm back here, when I make it to this stage, I'm going to value this and be okay with where I am. And then when it's time for me to change, then I'm going to change and step into my next stage. And then I'm taking everything that I learned into my new stage, the courage to change, the courage to change. You don't want to forfeit the lessons at those stages because you need them. You need those valuable lessons. Otherwise, you forfeit and you have to go back. And why go back and redo over and over and over again? I'm just going to value the lessons where I am. Listen here. If you cannot do anything else at the stage, if there's nothing else to do, stay quiet and do the work. Stay quiet and do the work. There's value in being quiet. Sometimes you need to get to that lesson. You need to get to that stage and you just need to listen. You need to listen to wisdom. You need to listen to the advice. You just need to sit there when you don't know what to do. Just be still and be quiet so that you learn, so that you learn. So then you like, okay, I got it. I listen. And I may not, what I learned growing up is that I may not need it at this stage. Because sometimes I tell myself, I may not need it right now, but I can go back and remember lessons that I was taught growing up that I may didn't see the value in the lesson then, but I see the value in what my parents were trying to teach me now. What they wanted me to learn. See, the courage to change means that you recognize the need to exhibit courage, hope, a growth mindset, being eager, and a positive attitude. That's the courage to change. The courage to change means that you want to see growth in yourself and in others. See, the courage to change is not just growth in myself. It's the growth that I see in those that are around me. See, the courage to change, courage is knowing that it may not work out, but I got to do something anyway. That's the courage to change. The courage to change is exhibiting hope. The courage to change is a growth mindset. It is being eager. It is saying, I'm doing it anyway. I'm doing it afraid. That is the courage to change. The courage to change is being a rebel and a peacemaker. The courage to change knows when to go first and when to go last. The courage to change knows when to speak up and when to be quiet. The courage to change means that I can see the good and the bad It means that the courage to change means I can see both sides of a situation. The courage to change means having the strength and patience and the passion to help outside of myself, to help myself and those that are around me. The courage to change means getting out of my comfort zone, doing the things that I've never done before. That is the courage to change. It is the courage to make a metamorphosis, to allow yourself to turn into a better version of who you are currently. That is the courage to change. The courage to change means that, oh my gosh, oh, but I'm doing it anyway. I'm taking a step anyway. That is the courage to change, that I don't care what anyone says, but I have the courage to change. I have the courage to change. I have the courage to change the world that is around me. The courage to change means to step into something new, because it is more comfortable to stay within my comfort zone. The courage to change says, I don't like my comfort zone. I'm going to step outside of it and do something different. The courage to change is the courage to live, living those wildest dreams, believing and stepping into what once was unbelievable and what I thought impossible. The courage to change is believing and stepping out on the unbelievable and the impossible and turning the impossible into the possible. The courage to change, the courage to put myself out there, the courage to do what to others or what I believe may look stupid to others. The courage to change. I have the courage to change my life, even though I have a speech impediment. The courage to change. I want to see a change. I have a voice. I have a word, and I want to get it out there to the world. So I have to have the courage to step out and to do something new, to do something different. Capture your thoughts and make the courage to change. You have to capture your thoughts and change your word. It is a lonely place to be on the courage road. It's a lonely place. Nobody wants to be here. Nobody is volunteering. Nobody is showing up. But us, but us, but us. The courage to change. What it takes to change, you will thank me later, because you will see yourself anew. You will see yourself at a new place and you'll be like, thank you, Sterling. I needed that push. I needed that courage to change. I think it was, and I could be wrong, so if I'm misquoting, you guys forgive me. I think it was Dave Ramsey that said, if you want to live like no one else, you have to live like no one else. So if you want the courage to change, you have to do those things that others are unwilling to do. Because I also heard a quote that says, anyone can stay the same, but it takes courage to change. Everybody can stay the same. That's the easy part. The easy part is staying on the boat. It's staying in my comfort zone. It's doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again and never changing. That is the easy part. The hardest part is stepping out and making the necessary change that I know needs to be made. I want to read you something Roy T. Bennett said. It is better to find courage to make change when you can choose to, rather than being forced to. If you do not make change, change will make you. He says, if you do not make change, change will make you. Do you really want change to make you? You don't. You want change to be on your own playing field. The courage to change. Get out and do something different. The courage to change means stepping into the new, even when I don't see it. Even when sometimes I just got a mustard seed of faith, but all I know is I have the courage to change. This has been your Vitamin M, and I will see you on next week.
Join us next week to get your weekly dose of Vitamin M. Please visit our website at www.marchellesterling.com.